Hello there, beautiful friends. I'm Black and Fist, and recently at New York Comic Con, we had a Dragon Ball Superhero panel, and many new details were revealed at that event, including an actual semi-trailer. It wasn't a full-blown trailer. Interestingly enough, there wasn't any audio to go along with it, only music, which seems to indicate that perhaps the production of the film is more in preliminary stages than we previously have thought, so we might not be seeing this film until maybe later in 2022. Well, anyway, I wanted to share my general thoughts and give you some of the new details that were revealed at this event. Now, we already knew that Pan and Piccolo were most likely going to be major roles in this film, and of course this event more elaborated on those things. They revealed here that Piccolo is actually going to be the one training Pan in this film, which is quite interesting because we've also have known, and now we have more definitive proof of it, that this film is also going to take place before the 28th tournament. Remember, the 28th tournament is the tournament that happened at the very end of the series. At the end of the series, it seemed that it was Goku who was training Pan, at least in that moment. Perhaps Piccolo was the one who first trained her and then Goku took over, or perhaps it was both of them. It was a team effort. Or maybe Goku really wasn't training Pan at all and he was just there or something. Obviously, we don't know the details yet. Those are yet to be revealed. Also, the new character, or characters, we weren't sure at the time whether it was one or two characters that was revealed at the San Diego event. Now they have names. Apparently they're Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Not much else is really known explicitly about Gamma 1 and 2, however, there are certain indications and implicit puzzle pieces you can put together about their true motivation and true character, and that has, I think, mostly in relation to do with, of course, the true villains, or the villains that have been revealed in the movie, as far as we know. And one of the biggest elements is, of course, the reveal that the Red Ribbon Army is involved. Knowing that the Red Ribbon Army is going to be involved, and the fact that in the trailer, the small trailer we did receive, it seemed that these new characters who are like 99% sure that they are going to be the villains of this film, and they're somehow connected to the Red Ribbon Army, they're seen with Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. So, most likely they are going to be the villains of this film. However, we don't know everything, and it could be a little bit misleading, intentionally so. It could be that Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are only being manipulated by the true evil villain of this film, and they perhaps maybe aren't the true villains. I'll get into that a little bit later in this video. But I really wanted to talk about the actual trailer that was released here, because obviously that's the big thing that's turning heads. There's been a lot of talk about the visuals of this film, and to be quite blunt, I haven't been too excited about the rumors and developments of those visuals. I prefer Dragon Ball to remain a 2D animation, and it's not that I'm completely against Dragon Ball going into a 3D space, but knowing Toei's track record and just thinking that Dragon Ball is mostly suited for a 2D feel, I was very hesitant to embrace this 3D look that perhaps this new movie was going to have, and that was me before seeing it. So that's the perspective that I'm coming into this trailer with, and now having seen how it looks, I pretty much still share that same opinion. I'm still a bit concerned about how this movie is gonna look. Now, granted, what we're seeing here, even though they said in the event that this is finished footage, I mean, guys, we have to understand that this isn't finished until it's released. So perhaps what we're seeing here is not the final product, but there are certain shots in here where it does concern me. The models, like, of these new characters, the way they move, they give off a certain, I don't know, video gamey vibe. The way they move with their movement, as you can see the walk cycle of this guy in the red suit, it seems like, I don't know if this is the video, but like, I have to keep in mind that, you know, the video stream that we were watching wasn't exactly of the highest quality. Perhaps this isn't even the final product, so we have to keep that in mind. But the animation, the movement wasn't exactly something that was very exciting for me, to say the least. It wasn't all negative. Some of the shots did look pretty good. Most prominently, of course, the shots of Pan, where she's apparently powering up. There's a shot of Piccolo who's getting attacked by probably one of either Gamma 1 or Gamma 2, which looked pretty good. This shot of Goku where he's training most likely on Beerus's planet with Broly, I might add. Broly, who they didn't announce at all. He only appeared for a split second in this trailer, and I think they were trying to hide him behind all the dust, but people, of course, immediately caught on. Some of this trailer looks good, and I have to highlight that the parts that look the best are the parts that look the most 2D, like the Pan, like specifically the Pan shot. The Pan shot looks like, obviously it's 3D and it has 3D elements, but it is the most 2D looking out of all of these shots. To me, what I took away from the trailer, at least for right now, is that the more 3D this movie looks, the worse it looks. That might be a bit of a harsh statement, but I wouldn't be honest if I wasn't saying it. Like, that is my honest opinion. I'm not trying to say that the whole thing, all this trailer looked terrible or bad or anything. The explosion that was shown looked okay. There were certain things that looked... This could maybe... I could be completely wrong, but I would be lying if I didn't say the visuals are not exactly like, for instance, with how they were with Broly, where just about everything that was revealed about Broly from the very beginning, in every little trailer we got, it was just amazing to look at. Like the art style, the new character designs, the animation, everything was superb. And that has nothing to do with the action. That had all to do with the art and animation. And I'm just saying the art and animation, at least for me, it's just not doing it for me. I hope that I'm completely wrong. And even if I don't end up liking the art and animation of this film, I really do root for the story of this film. Of course, we have learned about the slice of life elements, and also it'll be revolved around, a superhero, which is actually where I want to get back to Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, where it seems like in the trailer, we get a couple things that are revealed in the trailer as well. In the trailer, it says an evil organization moving in the shadows. Now, this organization, it most likely is the Red Ribbon Army. Although, of course, we don't know for sure. It could just be admirers of the Red Ribbon Army. Perhaps the Red Ribbon Army have been destroyed, and maybe these guys are trying to revive it or something like that. We also get this shot of where it seems like they're in the city, and if you pay close attention, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are looking at these big projections of where Goku, Vegeta, and Majin Buu, and even at the end of this trailer, Mr. Satan is even projected on there, and they have like these very grimacing looking faces on there. It seems to me that they're, at least this is my guess, that they are projecting, or they're trying to portray Goku, Vegeta, and Majin Buu as villains, and perhaps Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, you considering the theme of this movie is going to be a superhero, perhaps Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are aspiring to be superheroes. And what does superheroes do? Well, they take down the villains. So perhaps this shot, especially this little sequence here, indicates that maybe, just maybe, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are being manipulated by perhaps the man in the red suit or somebody else. Maybe they aren't exactly the real villains. Maybe they'll probably be fighting guys like Piccolo, who, I might remind you, were villains at one point, and perhaps that's maybe why Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 will go after Goku and Vegeta and Majin Buu and Piccolo, because they're being portrayed as villains in this film. But their true intentions is probably because they want to be superheroes. That's my guess as to what exactly is going on, at least in this little sequence right here. As I said earlier, Piccolo has been confirmed to be Pan's trainer, and obviously we get a sequence of Pan either channeling her ki or trying to transform. Some people have speculated that this is Pan trying to transform into a Super Saiyan. I mean, maybe. Perhaps. It's definitely not out of the question. People will try to say, well, she didn't transform at the end of the series. Well, that hasn't really stopped, Dragon Ball Super and this new era of Dragon Ball from doing stuff like that. So, I mean, it's definitely not out of the question, of course. But I wanted to end this off with just one more thing, which is the peculiar absence of one character that I was actually hoping for, and that would be Gohan. Gohan, of course, would be my favorite character, and hearing from the inception of this film that Pan and Piccolo were both going to be a major part of it, I mean, that gave me pretty high hopes that, hey man, maybe Gohan, he's gonna be part of this movie. I mean, seems to make sense. Although, it's very unfortunate that Gohan really was not mentioned at all in this event. He wasn't in the trailer, he wasn't at all even hinted at. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that he's not in the film. He most certainly is in this film, but that's not what I was hoping for in this film. I wanted Gohan to be a major part of this film, and I think the likelihood of Gohan being a major part of this film is going down a little bit. Now, of course, they could be holding that too close to their chest at the moment, and they don't want to reveal that. That could be the case. However, I think what's more likely the situation is that Gohan is only going to be perhaps at best, a supporting character to Pan. Maybe he appears in a couple scenes where Pan is trying to talk to her father, but that's about it. That's, I think, the extent that Gohan, unfortunately, will have in this film. I will say, the only time Gohan was really mentioned in this event was not even him specifically, but the Gohan family. So, of course, that includes Videl as well. And I think that Gohan probably will have about the same prominence as Videl, which is unfortunate, because I actually would have really wanted both Videl and Gohan to be really part of this movie. And once again, I really hope I'm wrong about this, but I mean, what I really want is Gohan. I mean, I love the Great Saiyaman. I've always said I love the Great Saiyaman. It would be amazing if Gohan busts out. I mean, what better movie to bust out the Great Saiyaman than this movie? This movie is literally called Superhero. This is the best opportunity in Dragon Ball history for Gohan to bust out Great Saiyaman, Videl to bust out Great Saiyaman 2, for them to team up against Gamma 1, Gamma 2, show Pan who the real superhero is, what it means to be a real superhero. I mean, come on, it like practically writes itself. So it will be very disappointing if Gohan and Videl are not a major part of this movie. Of course they're going to be in this movie, but that's not really what I was hoping for this one. This one, I think, almost demands a much greater involvement for Gohan, and if it doesn't happen, I just think it'll be a missed opportunity. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on this new film. More mixed reception than usual, even from me. To be honest, I'm not as excited for this one as I was for Broly. Of course, I'll go see it, and of course, I'll enjoy it. I hope the story lives up to all the hype that it's trying to portray itself as for right now, because I think the visuals are on a bit more shaky ground. But anyway, guys.